So the eligibility requirements for IPO, in that first we will see the entities not eligible to make an IPO. Who cannot make an IPO? So any issuer cannot make an IPO if the issuer, promoters, promoter group, director or selling shareholders are debarred by SEBI. Debarred by SEBI means what? They are prohibited, they are not able to access the capital market. Second, any promoter or director of the issuer is also a promoter director of another company debarred by SEBI. Say suppose the promoter and director in ABC Limited, ABC Private Limited, the promoter and director are the director in the PQR Private Limited. ठीक है? So they are the common director. Are you getting? This promoter and not promoter group, but this director. If say suppose this promoter is a director in PQR Private Limited and this company is debarred, guys, then whether ABC Private Limited can go for the IPO? No. See here, any promoter or director of the issuer, any promoter or director of the ABC Private Limited is also a promoter director of another company, that is PQR Private Limited, and that PQR Private Limited is debarred by the SEBI. It means ABC Private Limited cannot go for the IPO, or Public Limited cannot go for the IPO, because promoter and director are the common in the company where the other company is debarred by the SEBI. ठीक है? Next is what? Any promoter or director of the issuer is a fugitive offender. What is the meaning of fugitive offender? Fugitive means what? माल्या का स्पेलिंग सही है क्या? ये है फ्यूजिटिव ऑफेंडर. ठीक है? So any promoter or director of the issuer is fugitive offender if they had done the fraud and they ran away from the country. They are the fugitive. So if any issuer company, so why they had not written here issuer, guys? Issuer company, why they had not written? Any company can run. So that's why here they had given issuer. Issuer means any company, but here they had given promoter and director of the issuer company. So company cannot run, these people can run by doing the default. Okay, one more point is there, one more point in continuity of this third point, that any promoter and director who are the willful defaulter, okay, who had done the willful default. So Vijay Mallya will come in that only. Okay. So any willful defaulter, any fugitive offender, and there are outstanding convertible securities or right that are entitled any person to receive equity share of the issuer. Still the conversion is pending. Conversion is pending and right entitlement is pending. That company cannot go for IPO. So the last point is there are outstanding convertible securities. It was supposed to convert into equity share, but it is not happened. The company had not converted into equity share, or rights entitlement is still pending. So this kind of company cannot issue the equity share through IPO. Okay. So these company are not eligible for IPO. Requirement for an IPO. An issuer is eligible to make an IPO only if net tangible asset. Whether IPR will be included in net tangible asset, guys? IPR. You guys are studying, no? Anuj Mehta sir is teaching you. Whether it is a tangible asset. Intangible. So in net tangible asset, IPR will not included. Okay. So who will be eligible? Which kind of issuer will be eligible for the IPO? So at least 3 crores on a restated and consolidated basis in each of the preceding full year. How much should be the net tangible asset guys? 3 crores. ठीक है, चलो. So net tangible asset should be how much? 3 crores in how many years? In preceding 3 years. Okay, in preceding 3 years. ऊपर नीचे चला जा रहा है ये. At least 3 crore. Okay, on a in each they are telling, it means in 3 full years. In 3 full years, all 3 years should be 3 crore minimum. It is not like 1 year you are. In 3 preceding full year, it should be at least 3 crores. Got it? What should be there for 3 crores? Net tangible asset. Okay. Then not more than 50% of the assets held in monetary asset in the liquid form. Okay, unless excess is utilized or committed for the business or project. So now say suppose this 3 crore at least they are telling to maintain. In this at least how much? 50%. 50% should not more than 50% should be in the which form? Monetary asset. If it is there more than 50%, say suppose 60 or 70%, so this extra 20% should be utilized for the company business. This is the net tangible asset criteria. See here, not more than 50% of asset held in monetary assets unless excess is utilized and committed for the businesses and business projects. Got it? ठीक है. So this you got it, 3 crores in preceding 3 years, but every 3 years it should be 3 crores minimum. Next is what? Operating profit guys. Operating profit. Now average operating profit of rupees 15 crores over the preceding 3 years. But they are telling average operating profit means what? How many years ka profit? How many years? 3 years average 3 years average operating profit should be how much? 15 CR. Okay, but must have operating profit in each of the 3 years. What does it mean? Every year, every 3 years it should be average profit of 3 years. We are counting preceding 3 years. So say suppose this is 25, 24, 23. So in 23 also it should be 15 crore. In 24 also 15 crore. In 25 also 15 crore. So every year you will count by taking 3 years ka average profit every time. So in 3 preceding years they have to maintain average operating profit of 15 CR. Are you getting this? Over the preceding 3 years, but each of the 3 years guys, each of the 3 years. Are you getting this? Any confusion in this please ask. एवरेज होना चाहिए 3 साल का, पर हर 3 साल ये प्रॉफिट मेंटेन करना. क्लियर है? ठीक है. सो सेकेंड वॉज व्हाट? द सेकेंड क्राइटेरिया इज average operating profit should be how much? 15 CR in preceding 3 years, and each 3 years we have to maintain this, the company have to maintain this average operating profit. Clear? Next is what? Operating profit. Third one is net worth criteria. Net worth is what? At least 1 crore in each of the preceding 3 full years on a restated and consolidated basis. Means 3 full years, 1 crore net worth should be there. It should not be less than 1 crore. ठीक है? This is the simple. Simple criteria. Net worth how much? Worth at least rupees 1 CR in 3 full year, preceding full year. Got it? चलो बोलो, देखो. Eligibility criteria for an IPO. Net tangible asset should be how much? 3 crore in preceding 3 years, right? 3 full years, it should be maintained 3 crores. Then out of that 50% should not more than 50% should be in the monetary asset. If it is excess of that, then it should be utilized for the businesses and projects. Second one is the average operating profit should be 15 CR in 3 preceding, average of 3 years, and in every year it should be average operating profit of the 15 CR. Third one is the net worth criteria, that should be in preceding 3 full years, it should be at least rupees 1 crore. Got it? Yes? Then the last one is name change condition, guys. Say suppose before IPO it is allowed to change the name one year before. Is it allowed? We had seen in the secondary market the name change before 1 year IPO. It is generally not allowed to change the name, okay. But if somebody is changing in some circumstances, then if issuer changed its name within the last year, if the any issuer unlisted company is changing the name, okay, they were having some other name and now they wanted to come up with the new name for the IPO, then what will happen? There is one criteria. If the issuer change its name within the last year equal to or not more than 50% of the, equal and more than 50% of the revenue for the preceding year must come from activities indicated by the new name. Are you getting this? No. So if anybody is changing, any company is changing the name, so with the new name, guys, with the new name, at least how much revenue should come? If the issuer change its name within the last year, in last year, say suppose 24-25, the issuer had changed the company name, okay, Pioneer से कुछ और कर दिया, Pioneer से क्या कर दिया, Excellent कर दिया, say suppose Excellent company कर दिया उसका नाम, ठीक है. So Public Limited. Now they wanted to go for IPO, right? Now Pioneer was there for previous 4 years and this Excellent is last year they had changed the name Excellent last year. So in the last year, how much revenue should come from that company, guys? At least equal to or more than 50% of the revenue should be from the activities of changed name. Otherwise, say suppose I will explain the condition, general condition for the IPO regulation 7. General condition. So you will get to know the basic out of it. It is there in your book. So general condition for the IPO regulation 7. ठीक है. So an issuer making an IPO must comply with the following condition. These are the general condition. 3-4 conditions are very easy. 2-3 conditions are little bit tricky. Okay. Stock exchanges approval. Whenever you wanted to go for IPO, you have to take approval from the stock exchanges, right? So उस approval को क्या बोलते हैं? What we say to that approval? In principle approval. In principle approval. The issuer must apply to one or more stock exchanges for in principle approval for listing its securities. ठीक है? One or more stock exchanges, recognized stock exchanges. Fine. So what approval we will take? What we used to say? In principle approval we take it from the stock exchanges. Then it must be choose one stock exchange as the designated stock exchange. One stock exchange will be the designated stock exchange. And then dematerialization of the security. The issuer must enter into an agreement with the depository for the dematerialization of security already issued and security proposed to be issued. If it is a private, now every security should be in the demat form. Okay, already issued, say suppose unlisted company had issued the share to the promoter group and it was not in demat form, but that should also be in the demat form, and the new security definitely it will be come in the demat form. Now all the security, private company, public company, listed company should be in the demat form. Okay, so the company, the issuer company will do an agreement with the depository for the dematerialization. Then promoter securities, all securities held by promoter must be in dematerialization form before filing the offer document. Now fully paid up share. Now the issue you are doing, guys, that share should be the fully paid up share. That's why we had seen that criteria that outstanding convertible security cannot be issued, that entities cannot be go for the IPO. They are not entitled to IPO because it is not converted into equity share. So the all existing partly paid up, fully paid up share, all existing partly paid up equity share must be either fully paid up or forfeited. Nullify kar denge. In rights, what the people are not taking the right, they nullify it. Okay, so the security should be fully paid up, guys. Then finance. So these are the general condition and what I was telling. Now you guys interpret it, what is written here. See here, financial arrangements for project funding. The issuer must have firm arrangements of finances, verifiable finances for at least 75% of the project cost to be funded from sources other than the proposed public issue and existing identifiable internal accruals. Are you getting this? कुछ पल्ले पड़ रहा है तुम्हारे, समझ में आ रहा है? First three criteria was easy, no? Stock exchange approval, agreement with the depository. Third is share should be fully paid up. The fourth one is what? Financial arrangement for project funding. What is that? So see here, the issuer must have firm arrangement of finances. Verifiable means for at least 75% of the project cost to be funded from. Wait. So issuer must have firm arrangement means what? Concrete arrangement. Concrete. You should have a concrete arrangement of funds. You are going for the project. Okay. Now you thought to start a project. For that you wanted to go for IPO. Okay. So say suppose your project is for the 2000 crore rupees, guys. Okay. In this 2000 crore rupees, project cost is what? How much? 2000 crore rupees. Now you wanted to raise funds through capital market. So you will go for IPO. Through IPO you are raising how much money? 1200 CR. 1200 CR. And your internal accrual, your surpluses in company, how much money you are already having? 300 crores. Your project cost is 2000 crore rupees. 1200 rupees crore you are going for the IPO. 300 internal accruals. Now how much remaining money is there? 500 crores. Now this 500 crores you thought to take loan. You thought to take loan and you will pay interest on that. Okay? So in this 500 crore, 75% of the 500 crore, that is the 375 crore, should firm arrangement. Say suppose you had applied in a bank for the loan of 500 crore rupees. So in that at least your 375 crore rupees loan should be approved, or through any other way if you are bringing the money, the sanctions मालूम है ना, sanctions for approval. So approval should be there for how much money, guys? 75% of the remaining money which you are going to raise through the loan or in any other ways. Then only you can go for the IPO. Before the IPO, say suppose you are going for the IPO, all money you cannot raise. You can raise even, but why you will dilute all your shareholding? Tell me. Will you dilute all your shareholding? So some money you will raise from the capital by diluting some share your shareholding, right? You will brought money from the capital market. Now some internal accruals you are having, and some you will take it from the loan. When you will do the business after getting the money from the IPO, you can give this interest easily, right? So this remaining money should be how much? At least 75% of the remaining amount should be firm arranged. You in your hand, you should have bank approval or any kind of sanction from where you are bringing this money. This is the concept first. Did you get this first? Okay. Now come to this. Issuer must have firm arrangement of finance. Verifiable means SEBI can verify that yes, concretely firm arrangement you are having in your hand, right? For at least how much? 75% of the total project cost. So excluding 75% of total project cost, excluding IPO proceed, means how much? In our example 1200 CR, excluding identifiable internal accruals, how much it is? 300 CR. So out of 2000 crore you will minus this 1500. How much is pending? 500. 500 ka 75%, that is 375 crore should be the firm arrangement, should be there on company's hand. समझ में आया ये? ठीक है? Let's come to this. अभी इसको बार बार if I'll stretch and tell you in different numbers, it is just plus and minus, nothing else is there. Okay, so 75% of the project cost excluding IPO proceed. जो भी the money we are getting from the IPO, we used to tell it IPO proceed. So excluding IPO proceed, excluding identified internal accruals. And after that, whatever remaining money you wanted to raise from loan or in any other means, you should have a 75% of firm arrangement, concrete arrangement in your hand. This is the condition. Okay? Now see this. The issuer must have firm arrangements of finance, verifiable means for at least 75% of the project cost to be funded from sources, means maybe by the loan other than the proposed public issue. Okay? How much you are going to raise from the IPO and existing identified internal accruals. Any confusion? Nahi? Pakka? Got it? Varsha, any confusion? No? Yes? So what is the purpose, guys? Ensure sufficient funding for the project before relying on IPO proceeds. You should have also some this, like say suppose you are asking loan, you are asking investment for something and you are having zero in your hand, people will invest in your company? No. So that should be the, you should also have the sufficient fund and then you can go for the IPO and all. Okay. So this is the reason and this is one condition. And next condition is, guys, limits on funds raised for general corporate purposes. Now when we raise capital through capital market, we go for the IPO. So we brought the money for some specific purposes. Say suppose you wanted to expand your business, you wanted to start your new units, right? You wanted to purchase machinery, right? But there are allowed 25%, it is allowed for the general corporate purposes. In that what will come? Working capital requirement or any general expenses, which is not necessary to tell you. You know, when IPO money you are bringing, each and everything you have to mention there that this much of money you are going to utilize for what. And each and every detail you have to give because this is the public money. It is not simply you will bring the money and you will pay your debts and all. It is not allowed. So you have to mention there in your prospectus or red herring prospectus that this money, this portion, this much of percentage we are going to utilize for this purpose, and you have to utilize money for that purpose only. It is not allowed to use for anything. So for that, one criteria is there where you can utilize this money for the general corporate purpose. General corporate purpose. In that, even you can do your general expenses or working capital requirement. These things also you can do. So that is called limits on funds raised for the general corporate purposes. So standard limit is what, guys? Funds allocated for general corporate purposes must not exceed how much? 25% of IPO amount. Say suppose 25% of 1200 crore. चलो निकाल लो उसका 25%. Any proceed 1000 crore का 25%. That is you can utilize for the general corporate purposes. So the next condition is what? General corporate purposes should not more than 25%. Say suppose example working capital or general expenses. Okay. Next condition is, the last condition is what, guys? Okay. This I will explain after this. The second one is what? This slide. The unidentified acquisition portion should not be more than 25%. So unidentified investment. You are not aware where you are going to invest for this, right? Unidentified acquisitions. Any acquisition which you are going to do in the future, but right now at the time of IPO you are not identified that. For that also how much you can keep? Not more than 25%. Okay? Two criteria for the general corporate purpose, and second one is what? Unidentified investment. Okay? Not more than 25%. But together if we are keeping, say suppose, so say suppose there is 1200 crore rupees IPO proceed. So individually it is allowed 25% and 25%. But if both things you are doing, in your company, so not more than 35% is allowed in both criteria. Got it? Not more than 30%. If you are choosing for general corporate purpose, if you are choosing for the unidentified investment, so together it will be how much? Not more than 35%. Otherwise for both criteria it will be more than 50% you will utilize for unidentified acquisition. You had not given the declaration and all, and for your general corporate purpose more than 50% you will utilize. That is not allowed. So together if you are taking in both heads, if you are taking, guys, so not more than 35%, and this is given here. Now see this. The standard limit funds allocated for general corporate purpose must not exceed 25% of the IPO amount, and if no specific acquisition investment target identified, it means unidentified acquisition portion should not be 25%, and funds for general corporate purposes and unidentified acquisition investment object must not exceed 35% of the IPO proceeds. Artha aita. Exceptions. Limits don't apply if a specific acquisition or strategic investment target has been identified. If there are identified acquisitions, so this limit will not apply to identified, because we are talking about the unidentified acquisitions. Okay, must include detailed disclosure in the draft offer document and final offer document, which is called prospectus, guys. So ये है आपका conditions. Regulation 7. एक सेकेंड. You want to, sir? How much time it will take to revise today's lecture? Half an hour is more than enough. Half an hour is more than enough. ठीक है, ये ले लो. When you will get to know the concept, in your word also you can write. It is not at all necessary to mug up the things, guys. What is the name? What is this? क्या है ये? ये समझ में आया क्या? रेगुलेशन 7 इजीली इन प्रिंसिपल अप्रूवल. दिस इज द लास्ट टॉपिक फॉर टुडे. I have one more lecture after this, 1.5 hour. कल चलेंगे बेगा बेगा. अभी समझ में आया थोड़ा सा, है ना? IPO कंडीशन, ठीक है. सो कल जल्दी जल्दी करेंगे. अच्छा, बुक बिल्डिंग बताओ. चलो, व्हाट वाज बुक बिल्डिंग? यस आदित्य, बोलो. व्हाट इज योर कंसंट्रेशन? आई चेक. बोलो, व्हाट इज बुक बिल्डिंग प्रोसेस? हाँ, यू कैन टेक हेल्प ऑफ तेजस्वी. दोनों तो अच्छा, नो फिक्स प्राइस. यस, खत्म. हाँ, इनवाइटिंग द बिड्स फ्रॉम होम? फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टर्स. यस, व्हाट इज द थर्ड पॉइंट? हाँ, ओके. उसके पहले क्या है? बोलो, एनीबडी कैन से. बोलो, बुक बिल्डिंग. देयर विल बी अ प्राइस बैंड. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल देयर विल बी अ प्राइस बैंड, गाइज. ठीक है, प्राइस बैंड. ओके, इन बिटवीन दे विल आस्क द बिड. ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद बिड्स आ गए. आफ्टर दैट व्हाट दे विल डू? They will set one price. That's highest demand price will be the cut-off price, and on that price they will allot the shares. This is called the book building process. And in which document? Which document it is used? Book building. Red herring prospectus. And if it is offer document, draft offer document, or offer document which is called prospectus, in that which kind of price we used to when the final price, fixed price we mention, that document is called prospectus. ठीक है, fixed price. Okay, in this we will see the floor price and all. So whatever price will be set, no, say suppose 380 guys. यहाँ पे क्या होता है? इसमें इसका movement. So minimum it should be 5% and maximum how much it can go up? 20%. This we are going to see tomorrow. One topic is there, in that we will see. Regulation 3 is about what? Sorry? Applicability of ICDR to which kind of company? How many companies were there? 10. बोलो, किस किस को? Issuer of IPO, then issuer of FPO, unlisted company. IPO, listed company for FPO, then right issue, bonus issue, QIBs, then preferential, IPO of IDR, right issue of IDR. और क्या बचा? SME. हाँ, very good. हाँ, innovators growth platform. How many trading platforms are there? 4. Main board, SME board, IGP, innovators growth platform and social stock exchange. Okay, प्रो हो गए हो तुम लोग. ठीक है, 5 में क्या देखा था? रेगुलेशन 5 एलिजिबिलिटी देखा था क्या? 6 में क्या देखा था? बोलो. जनरल कंडीशन इज 7. जनरल कंडीशन इज रेगुलेशन 7. 6. Eligibility requirement for IPO, that we had seen. 3 crores, 50% of the 50%, not more than 50% in the monetary asset. If more than 50%, then it should be utilized in the business or project. Second, average operating profit should be how much? 15 crores in each in preceding. Then third one is net worth. Net worth is how much? 1 crore. And fourth one is, if any in preceding 1 year change name is there, by the change name activity, how much revenue? More than 50% should be from that activities. Thank you so much for the patience listening. You can